welcome to another hobby. I'm Austin. Today's hobby, we're continuing more Inktober, second to last day. Let's see what we get. Alright, WWATTOBER, Cradle Inktober, and not Inktober. I'm always a little leery of this WWATTOBER one. For WWATTOBER for the 30th, oh, Cemetery Gates, that's not that bad. For Cradle, we've got Little. And for not Inktober, Raven. As far as prompts go, this is one of the most straightforward and probably easiest to turn into a piece of art. I could just do it straight up, just do some cemetery gates with a little raven and be done with it. But I think I might try and make it a little bit more interesting somehow. Okay, so I think I have an idea. I think I'm just gonna do a fun little Pokemon drawing. I'm gonna do this because this guy's a little, like, I mean, I guess this one isn't really based on a raven, but it is the smaller evolution of a raven Pokemon. This one is more raven. Corvisquire, so at least raven or crow, generally, but the little guy is just Rookidee, which I guess is based more on a chickadee, but I feel like it's close enough, and it'll be a little Pokemon, so that'll fit, because according to Bulbapedia, it's only 8 inches tall. And then I think I'm going to do a Haunter that's at the cemetery gates blocking it and have the little Rookidee be kind of scared, I guess. I went with Haunter because at first I thought I'd do Gengar, but apparently, according to Bulbapedia, Haunter is actually bigger. He's 5'3", where Gengar is only 4'11". And I think to really emphasize the size difference, I'm going to use a perspective ruler with a fisheye lens and sort of a low to the ground perspective looking up at the gates. So let's see if I can set that up. I'm still kind of trying to learn how this fisheye perspective ruler works. I'm trying to kind of get used to it. So the thing that has me a little bit confused is like what this blue line on the outside arc here is. I'm not sure if you can see it very well on this recording, but it's connecting these two vanishing points, but not this third one. And I think it's meant to be the horizon line. So maybe if I swap this one with this third one that isn't connected to anything, then this will be my horizon line. And then this will be my horizontal lines, which I think is maybe what is meant to be going on here. And then I can use this extra one as my vertical vanishing point for looking, upwards at the sky. I'm gonna try starting with that. Try drawing in the cemetery gates with this perspective ruler in place as is, and see how it starts to come together. Alright, so I better just dive into this, because if I fiddle with this for too long, I'm going to be here for another 4-hour day when I'm hoping, again, for something a little bit shorter. All these are taking way longer than I end up expecting them to take. So, let's throw in this horizon, and bottom of the gates here, maybe. Feeling a little bit cramped in here, so I'm going to shrink everything down a little bit. Give myself a bit more room to work with, and probably space out these gates a bit more. I think it's pretty good, but there's not a lot of room for Haunter as it is right now. And if I put Haunter just kind of covering the gates, it sort of defeats the purpose. I think I want him like between or kind of behind the gates. Okay, I think I'm happier with this so far. Actually, it's missing that looking up perspective still. Okay, maybe I need to treat this middle point horizontal line as the horizon rather than this curved line I have here. Maybe even lower than that, actually. Come to think of it, this is supposed to be really harsh fisheye and you're close to the ground. Yeah, the curve of the horizon might actually be more U-shaped rather than bumped up, and that might be why I'm kind of losing that looking up perspective. So if I raise this whole thing up, maybe even shrink it down a little bit, then put the horizon in as like a U shape. And in that case, I think this vanishing point needs to also be on this U shape. Yeah, okay, this is much better. This is looking a lot more like it's down on the ground, looking up at something. The gates themselves are going to be a little bit more difficult. If I try to make them like they've swung open at all, it's going to be really hard to get them to follow this perspective ruler, because anything that's not at these 90-degree angles becomes really difficult to work out with this. So I think I'm going to have them closed, and then I'm going to have Gengar in front of them, or maybe even like breaking through them, and I can just have like the top of one of the gates kind of bent over and freehand that part because it'll be all broken, and then have the little Rookidee in the front scared looking. So I think I'm probably going to do something more like this top image, just straight up and down rods, curved top to it, and then the points at the top. Could try and do this filigree stuff, but it might be difficult to do in this perspective. And I don't think I want the gate with the top over top if I'm going to have Haunter breaking through, because he'd have to either be going under it or also breaking it, and that just sounds annoying to deal with. I could try and put like a mausoleum or a castle or something in the background, but I think that might get too complicated and muddy things up too much, so I think I might just put like a foggy background with some silhouettes of gravestones or something. I seem to be doing a lot of fog in this year's Inktober. Okay, so this gate is going to be kind of bent over like this, and then I think Haunter is going to be kind of like coming through. Actually, I may need to make the other side broken a little bit too, just to have enough room to make Haunter really stand out and be a big part of the scene. I think leaning down to be more imposing and haunting might be good, although that blocks a lot of the gate, doesn't it? Okay, I think this might be where I need to move everything down more, so I can put Haunter a little higher up without it being out of frame. Still kind of central to the image, but I can have it feel more above the Rookidee. I like this pose, but I think now this broken part of the gate needs to be really bent out a lot more than I have it here. Like way out, so it's like Haunter's really tearing it apart. It might actually give me some room to move Haunter down a little bit into more of that open area, and because Haunter's kind of blocking a lot of, like blocking the whole top of this right side of the gate pretty much, I think I don't want this hand to be doing the same on this side. I want it to be able to tell what's going on there a little bit more, so have it like, I don't know, reaching down like that. And then Rookidee will be like here. Throw the moon in there for some added visual interest. Give Haunter some backlighting. Okay, time to start on the actual image, and I think I'm gonna do the line art first. A little hard to get that iconic Gengar silhouette when I'm also trying to account for sort of this fisheye curvature where the spikes kind of going backwards off of his back should be almost wrapping around away from the viewer. So I'm fudging it a little bit by making them stick out probably more than they should at this angle, but I think it's working for the most part. I think this finger actually acts a little bit more like a thumb than it looks like in these images. So I'm going to put it a little bit more thumb position. And keep this pupil overlapping the eye. For some reason that's part of this Pokemon's design. Even though I'm kind of reversing the eye to make it scared, I'm keeping the overlap a little bit. Just because I want to have at least some of the spikes on the top of the gate showing, I'm going to not have Haunter breaking the one side of the gate at all, just kind of coming out in front of it, and only breaking the other side. And as for this section, just got to start bending bars, I guess. May have put too much detail in that to just have Haunter's claw just covering it all up. So maybe I'll change the placement of Haunter's claw instead, just to not waste all that effort. Still covering up some of my hard work, but I think it's good amount. Alright, that's that one. I think it worked out pretty good in the end. I don't know if it totally captures the crow part of the prompt, but I'm fine with that. So I'm going to call that finished. Thank you for watching me explore another hobby. Like and subscribe for more videos in the future. When I'm done with Inktober, I'm most likely going to start moving on to just whatever random art hobbies I get up to. I have a Pokemon painting for a friend coming up that I'm probably going to record working on, and videos will start coming more like every week rather than every day. So like and subscribe if you want to see more of my stuff in the future, and have a good one.